Were you supposed to see a U.S. Marshal? There was a U.S. Marshal here.
Oh, okay.
He kind of just looked at us and then walked away.
Okay. Audio good?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Hi, my name is Ajay Gupta. I represent the plaintiffs in this action. It's a class action, and it's FFV Valley View Community Unit School District 365U. That is at docket number 125 CV 09112 here in the district court in the Northern District of Illinois. First of all, I want to make it clear that I'm representing the plaintiffs in this action in my individual capacity and not as an agent or a representative of any law firm or any educational institution or other organization with which I am affiliated. Second, I want to make it clear that I'm representing plaintiffs in this action pro bono. I have not asked for, nor will I accept any compensation for my services in this representation. So, let me give you an update on this litigation. On July 13th of this year, the district court here dismissed the complaint, and on July 17th, the district court clarified that it was dismissing the complaint with prejudice. Today, the plaintiffs have filed a notice of appeal to the Seventh Circuit, appealing the district court's dismissal of the complaint. Based on the Supreme Court's decision in West Virginia, v. BPJ, which was handed down on June 30th of this year, we are confident that the Seventh Circuit will reverse the district court's dismissal of the complaint. And we expect to be back here in this district court litigating this case. Disappointingly, but unsurprisingly, the press has mischaracterized this action. Had those writing about this action simply bothered to read the straightforward 25-page complaint, which was filed August 1 of 2025, they would have discovered the very modest relief that plaintiffs in this action have asked for and the very modest relief that the district court has denied them. And that modest relief is some objective review and verification of a request by a biological male to be granted access to female-only spaces on campus. The school district's policy, which treats a self-declaration as conclusive and dismisses the female students' privacy concerns as speculative, is precisely the harm against which Title 19 and the Equal Protection Clause are supposed to guard. The district court, however, as I said, has dismissed these concerns. This case was never about ideology. It was, and it remains, about whether schools may force teenage girls to share intimate spaces on campus with biological males based on nothing more than a self-declaration for cross-sex access. That policy, we believe, is wrong, and we fully expect to be vindicated by the Seventh Circuit. It is my pleasure now to introduce Jim Fisher, who is the father of the named plaintiff in this action. Jim.
Thank you, Ajay. Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here in the Chicago Federal Courthouse area. My name is James Ellard Fisher, father in Bolingbrook, Illinois. I would like to thank attorney Ajay Gupta, Shannon Adcock, and Awake, Illinois for standing with the families of the Valley View School District 365U. What a powerful team supporting our community and daughters. Over a year ago, I partnered with the district working toward reasonable solution that would protect the privacy and safety of girls in girls' bathrooms and girls' locker rooms at Bolingbrook High School. Instead of working with the parents toward a compromise that respected everyone's dignity, the district chose to continue a policy that places biological males in female private spaces. That district policy is still in place today, affecting thousands of female students in our community. This has never been about just one family in Bolingbrook. It is about love, truth, privacy, safety, and basic rights of every girl who attends school here. Fathers like me are standing up because we refuse to accept that our daughters should feel uncomfortable and unsafe in spaces that were set aside for them decades ago. Valley View School District receives federal funding. With that funding comes a clear legal obligation to follow Title IX. Title IX was written to protect female students from sex-based discrimination. It requires schools to provide equal opportunities and to respect the privacy and safety of girls. A policy that erases biological sex in intimate spaces undermines those protections. We are asking the district and its leadership to follow the law, follow Title IX, protect girls' privacy. Professional athlete Sophie Cunningham recently said, "I want to protect young girls in a locker room or young girls in sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men." Courage is contagious. I am with Sophie. I am here to protect every girl in this district who deserves to feel safe. We will continue this fight here in the courts and in our community for as long as it takes until the rights of female students are fully restored. Thank you for your time. Now, I would like to introduce another Valley View School District parent, Miss Paulina. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Paulina Kraśniewska-Worwa, and I represent a group of parents from Valley View School District 365. I am here today as a parent to respectfully ask you to consider an issue that is very important to our families: our daughters' privacy, safety, and sense of security when using school restrooms and locker rooms. I am here today because we care deeply about the well-being of all students. We believe every student deserves to be treated with dignity, respect, and compassion. We believe every individual deserves kindness, safety, and equal respect, even when we may disagree with their beliefs or life choices. We live in the country founded on the principles of freedom, respect, and tolerance. We believe that every individual deserves dignity, safety, and respect for their rights. At the same time, we believe the same principles should also apply to our families. As the parents, we have the right to raise our children according to our deeply held values and to expect that their need for privacy will be treated with the seriousness it deserves. We also believe it is important to protect the privacy and safety of biological girls in school restrooms and locker rooms so that they can feel comfortable and secure. Every biological girl deserves privacy, safety, and comfort when using school restrooms and locker rooms. Our daughters do not feel comfortable sharing restrooms and locker rooms with individuals who are biologically male. This causes their distress and feeling of losing privacy. This is not intended as a sign of disrespect toward anyone. Rather, it reflects their personal boundaries and their need for privacy and dignity. Personally, each year, I submit a request asking my daughter has access to private space if biological male who identifies as a girl is present in the girls' restrooms and locker room. I appreciate that this accommodation exists, but I have to ask, why should parents have to make this request every single year? Why should my daughter have to leave the girls' space to accommodate someone else's sense of belonging. As parents, we do not believe that it should be necessary. We should not have to worry every day that our daughters might come home feeling distressed, embarrassed, or uncomfortable because they encountered a biological male in a space designated for girls. We believe no parent should have to carry that concern. Parents should have the right to raise their children according to their sincerely held values and advocate for their children's privacy and well-being, and schools should take into account the need to protect the privacy of all students. We do not believe these principles are incompatible. Teaching girls about privacy and healthy personal boundaries is an important part of their development. From an early age, children learn that their bodies deserve respect, that they have the right to privacy, and that they should never feel pressured to ignore their own comfort and personal boundaries. These lessons help build confidence, self-respect, and understanding of consent. For these reasons, we respectfully ask the district to consider solutions that protect the dignity, privacy, and safety of every student, to include biological girls. We believe it is possible to find solutions that take into account the needs of everyone while being grounded in mutual respect, open dialogue, and respect for differing beliefs. We may not all agree on every issue, but we believe we all share the same goal: creating schools where every child feels safe, respected, and able to learn. Thank you. And now I would like to welcome Awaken Illinois founder, Shannon Adcock.
Good morning. I invite you to take a look at the signs that are being held here. If you want to raise them up, you can see "My Daughter's Privacy Matters," "Defend Title IX, Defend Girls," "Protect Title IX," "Appeal for Common Sense," "Biology Isn't Bigotry," "No Boys in Girls' Bathrooms." This is not hate. This is not discrimination. This is about basic human rights. So that is why we are here today, and I'm so grateful for everybody who has joined us and who is standing tall for these girls. My name is Shannon Adcock. I am founder of Awake Illinois, and we are a statewide network of parents who believe that our children belong to their families, not to woke activism or political ideology or really terrible policies or government overreach. Today we stand with James Fisher, who you heard from, who is here in support of his daughter. And there are multiple families here to defend the civil rights of females. Thank you to the many Awake Illinois supporters for your donations and for your encouragement that have helped us to continue this fight to defend Title IX. People often ask us, where are the men on this issue? Well, good question. Today we can give a strong answer because men like James Fisher and attorney Ajay Gupta are standing tall in defense of female civil rights. Their courage matters, as does the courage of every parent who is here and is standing for their families in the state of Illinois and beyond. We are grateful for it. More courage, like everybody here, is really needed throughout Illinois. So we're supporting this legal appeal in the Seventh Circuit because the court's ruling is wrong and it puts every Illinois girl at risk. So let's be clear about what happened. A biological female student left her multi-stall bathroom to find a male inside the bathroom with her. This happened at Bolingbrook High School, and she knew that she was encountering an obvious male. He was dressed like an obvious male. None of the girls in the high school had been informed that males would have access to their bathrooms. So she obviously felt unsafe, she felt violated, and this was harmful to her. So instead of protecting her privacy and her dignity, the school district's policy and the federal judge's ruling treated her legitimate concern as, quote, speculative. The judge went even further and said that essentially if a female encounters another female in the bathroom, it is no different than encountering a male. This statement is a complete denial of biological reality and basic human privacy. Girls are not the same as boys in these private spaces, and pretending otherwise dismisses the very real discomfort, the vulnerability, and the loss of dignity that female students experience. So the court essentially said that girls in Illinois have no civil rights when it comes to single-sex bathrooms, that the girls' discomfort doesn't matter, that biology doesn't matter, that Title IX, the very law designated to protect females, can be rewritten by ideology. We reject that completely. It's deeply disappointing that we have clear federal Title IX protections on the books, and yet a federal judge refuses to recognize them. Irrespective of how any judge in this moment chooses to dismiss the civil rights of females, the law remains the law. It is an honor to stand with people who have the courage to protect girls in their private spaces, and history will keep a record of who stood bravely for common sense, for safety, and for ethics. This is not about one school or one incident. Unfortunately, Valley View School District's policy reflects a statewide failure. Awake Illinois has filed federal civil rights complaints against multiple districts for the same violations. We have families in Deerfield, Libertyville, and throughout Illinois all experiencing the same erosion of girls' spaces, whether it is bathrooms, locker rooms, or sports teams. We are mothers and fathers who are done being silent. We are teachers, coaches, and community leaders who see the harm. And we are telling every elected official and school board and anyone entrusted with these policies, enough. Enough. Title IX exists to protect females on the basis of sex, not ideology. Privacy, safety, and fairness are not optional. Our daughters deserve bathrooms and changing areas where they don't have to worry about exposed bodies. This is common sense. This is not discrimination, and we are hopeful will grant the injunction we are seeking. An injunction that restores single-sex privacy protections for girls in Valley View School District 365, and it will send a clear message that Title IX still means what it has always meant. So this appeal is just the beginning, and we are prepared to take it as far as necessary, including to the U.S. Supreme Court, if that's what it takes, in order to restore sanity and safety in our schools. So to the families watching who have been too afraid to speak up, you are not alone. We have legal counsel ready, we have evidence, and we have momentum. The young females engaged in these federal legal actions wish to protect their privacy and retain their anonymity. More girls and families will become plaintiffs as these cases proceed through the court, and we hope that the court will protect their privacy. After all, that is exactly what this entire action is about. It is about the girls' privacy. This fight will not fatigue us. Justice will prevail. Parents are awake, and we will not back down until our daughters' civil rights are fully protected. For anybody interested in following this appeal or other ways in which we are defending Title IX, please visit www.awakeil.com/TitleIX. We're happy to take a few questions if you have any. No questions? All right. Well, thank you for being here. Females have civil rights, and we will defend them. Onward. God bless.